Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister has been forced to abandon his original plans on sentencing. Will he now change his mind on the proposal to prevent police holding the DNA of those arrested but not charged with rape?
Well, we will look carefully at the issues of DNA. But I have to say to the right honourable gentleman, we inherited an unacceptable situation with a DNA database that had grown out of control and without proper rights for people. We put in place a better system, always room to see if it can be further improved, but I think we made a big step forward from the mess that we were left by the last government.
Mr. Speaker, it's a bit late to be looking at the proposal. It's in the House of Commons and about to have its report stage. Now let me explain his own policy to the Prime Minister. Around 5,000 people each year are arrested on suspicion of rape and not charged. I know he wants some help from the Home Secretary. In certain cases, these individuals have gone on to commit further offences and been convicted as a result of the DNA being held on the national database. But his proposal is that for those arrested and not charged, the DNA will be disposed of straight away. I ask him again, why is it right to discard the DNA of those arrested but not charged with rape?
I know there's some concern.
Order! The answer of the Prime Minister will be heard, and I remind the House, the more noise, the greater the difficulty in getting down the order paper. The Prime Minister.
I understand, Mr. Speaker. There's some worry that in this government we actually talk to each other. This is clearly not the case. Well, the Shadow Chancellor raises this issue. It's perfectly clear that the Shadow Chancellor and the leader of the Labour Party don't speak to each other at all. They don't speak at all. And I have, Mr. Speaker, I have the proof. I have the proof. Because this week he made a huge announcement on a massive VAT cut, and yet it was only...
Let's focus on an answer to the question, or we'll move on to the next question. Mr. Ed Miliband.
That was pathetic. Mr. Speaker, let me give this lesson to the Prime Minister. It will be better to talk to his colleagues before they put forward the policy, not afterwards. Now, instead of listening to the Home Secretary, why doesn't he listen to Angie Conway from Rape Crisis? This is what she says. With the reporting of rapes on the increase and conviction rates still shockingly low, the evidence this database provides is vital. The more of this data we hold, the more chance we have of catching rapists. She says this really is a no-brainer. Mr. Speaker, isn't this another policy on crime that is careless, not thought through and out of touch? Why doesn't he think again?
First of all, if he actually understood the policy, he will know. Yes, if he understood the policy, he will know that the police are allowed to apply to keep DNA on the computer, not something that he mentioned. What we tend to find with his questions is that he comes up with some idea, gets it completely wrong in the House of Commons, and we all find afterwards he's given us a partial picture. That is what his questions are all about. Not surprising, he doesn't want to talk.
The answer of the Prime Minister must be heard. The Prime Minister.
I'm not surprised that he doesn't want to talk about the issues his party's been putting forward this week, because I don't suppose he knew about them.
Just order, the House needs to simmer down and take whatever tablets are necessary.